Thank you, dear Senator Shaheen, for your kind words and for your dedicated and long-lasting support for democratic Belarus. Dear Damon, Leader McConnell, Speaker Emerita Pelosi, if you are here, Under-Secretary Bass, dear Evgenia Karamurza, Ukrainian friends, and all the laureates. It's a great privilege to receive the NED Democracy Medal. But this award is not for me, but for millions of Belarusians who are paying the biggest price for freedom and democracy. I dedicate this prize to all those whose freedom is denied. You know, my dear friends, I have noticed that the fight for democracy is often romanticized. You might remember the inspiring pictures of mass protests in Belarus when hundreds of thousands took to the streets. We remember those fearless women wearing white dresses with bunches of flowers leading the protest. However, there is a darker picture of this fight, because the road to democracy is paved with pain, tears, and sufferings. The fight for democracy is knowing that at this very moment, a friend of yours is being tortured by the KGB, and that another friend is facing death penalty. The fight for democracy is having to explain to your kids that their daddy has been sentenced to 19 years in prison because he wants a better life for his children. The fight for democracy is when you suffer a terrible pain with stage 4 cancer and you are denied any treatment because you are in prison. And for so long, you haven't heard a word from your family because you have been held incommunicado. And the lawyer who defended you has himself been sentenced to 5 years. The fight for democracy is when you unexpectedly win an election and find yourself discussing policy with President Biden whilst worrying if your husband is still alive. The fight for democracy is when your only son goes to fight in Ukraine, knowing that without Ukraine's victory, Belarus cannot be free, because the fate of two our countries are intertwined. Your son dies on the battlefields, and you, his mother, join his comrades on the front line. The fight for democracy is at 77. You take to the streets every day with your national flag. You provoke the police and the inevitable arrest. You get arrested, released, sew a new flag overnight, and go out again. The fight for democracy is whilst protesting Russification, you teach your children to speak Belarusian, because it's your culture, your identity, and this is the fuel of your resistance. The fight for democracy means, as a businessman, transferring funds to support the oppressed. When your company is shut down by the regime, you relocate to another country, start your business from scratch, and continue helping those in need. The fight for democracy means working as a journalist for Radio Free Europe, like Igor Losik or Andrei Kuznechik, broadcasting protests and telling the truth until one day the KGB knocks on your door. So these are real stories of real people, and this is real fight for democracy. It is difficult, but it cannot win alone. The fight for democracy needs allies, and many of these allies are in this room here tonight, like Damon Wilson, who supported, and the whole actually NED team providing assistance to freedom fighters all over the world. Allies like Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who scares dictators around the world. Or like Senator Shaheen or Mitch McConnell, representing the values that America holds so dearly. Like courageous freedom fighters from Tibet, Sudan, and individuals like Evgenia Karamurza. Dear Evgenia, I know how you feel, I know your pain, and I pray that both our husbands return home. We need allies like people of Ukraine who fight fearlessly for their country and for the values that we cherish so much. And I'm happy to see Ambassador Markarova here today with us. Victory for Ukraine will be defeat of Putin and Lukashenko. So, thank you. So, dear friends, the path to freedom and democracy can be long and difficult, but let's walk this path together, side by side. Thank you. Живе Belarus!